Hello students, welcome back to this channel. Today we'll continue with chapter number 2, that is electrostatic potential and capacitance. Today the topic covered will be first combination of capacitors, in that we'll see about parallel combination and series combination. The second topic will be energy stored in the capacitors. Okay, so let's start with the first one, combination of capacitors, in that parallel connection. Capacitors in parallel. Okay, now see here you can see the figure. Okay, see capacitor having capacitance C1 and capacitor having capacitance C2. These both are connected in parallel, right? You can assume that here it will be connected by a battery having potential difference V. Okay, so that is the reason why V is written. So the potential difference here is V. Okay, now see the capacitor C1, C2 both are connected in parallel, right? Let's say that the charge on capacitor 1 is Q1 and the charge on capacitor Q is Q2. See, one of the plate of the capacitor will be positively charged. Means if I take C1, then first plate will be plus Q1, and on other plate the charge will be minus Q1. And Q1 is called the charge of the capacitor. Okay, so C1 having charge Q1 and capacitor C2 having charge Q2 and capacitance C1 and C2 respectively. Okay, but now we know that the potential V or the potential difference V will be constant in parallel connection. Means when there will be parallel connection, the potential difference will be same. So V1 will be equal to V2. I can write it down here that here V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V. Clear? Here V1 will be equal to V2 will be equal to V. But Q1 will be not equal to Q2. Right? Both will have different charges. So the total charge VQ, total charge, I will write down, total charge Q will be equal to Q1 plus Q2. Okay, now we know the formula for capacitance, right? We know that capacitance C is equal to Q by V. So that implies Q is equal to CV. Okay, so using this formula again and replacing the value of Q, I will get CV equal to C1 V1, but V1 is equal to V plus C2 V2, V2 is also equal to V. Clear? So what happened? V gets cancel. The final formula we get C equal to C1 plus C2. Okay. So when two capacitors are connected in parallel, the equivalent capacitance will be equal to C1 plus C2. That means summation of both the capacitors. Okay. Now if there are n capacitance connected in parallel. Okay. Now let me write it down. For n capacitors, having capacitance C1, C2, C3, C4 to Cn, when they are connected in parallel, then the equivalent capacitance, C equivalent, will be equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 up to Cn. Okay, means summation of all the capacitance. Clear? So remember, whenever capacitors are connected in parallel, you have to add all the capacitance to get the equivalent capacitance. Okay, so just go through this topic. Okay, now let's move to the next topic, that is capacitors in series. Capacitors in series. Now see, here you can see two capacitors C1 and C2. Both are connected in series, right? So the left plate of C1, this one, okay, and the right plate of C2, this one. Both are connected by a battery. Okay, both are connected by a battery. Okay, now see here. So this means that the right plate of C1 and the left plate of C2 are connected here. Okay, this is series connection. Yeah. Now see, in series connection, in both the plates, the charge will be same. Means here, if I take this will be Q, then this will be also Q. I will take plus minus Q because on one plate it will be negative charge, another plate will be positive charge. But in series connection of a capacitor, the charges will be same. So I can write it down that here Q1 is equal to Q2 and that is equal to Q. But the potential drop, let's say this battery is having a potential V. The potential drop here will be V1 and here it will be V2. And the summation of V1 and V2 that will be equal to V. So V is equal to V1 plus V2. Okay. Now we are having the formula C equal to Q by V. So what does this imply? V equal to Q upon C. Okay. So I will use this formula here. So I will get Q by C that will be equal to Q1, but Q1 equal to Q2 equal to Q. So I'll write down Q upon C1 plus Q upon C2. So what will happen? Q, Q and Q gets cancelled. So that will be equal to 1 by C equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Okay. So whenever capacitors are connected in series, okay, if two capacitors are connected in series, then the equivalent capacitance will be equal to 1 by C equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Okay, when there are two capacitors, I can use directly like this way also. C will be equal to C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2. When I will solve this, I can get this. This is C equivalent, right? So if there are n capacitors, right, if there are n capacitor, for n capacitors having capacitance C1 C2 C3 up to Cn, okay, connected in series, then 1 upon C equivalent will be equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2, 1 by C3 up to 1 by Cn. Remember, this is for n capacitors connected in series. Here, just go through this topic. Okay, now let's move to the next. Now, now let's see some shortcuts for the numericals. See, when n capacitors having same capacitance, that is C1 equal to C2 equal to C3 equal to Cn, and that is equal to C. When they are connected in parallel, then the equivalent capacitance will be equal to n into C. Right? Example, three capacitors. Okay, C1 equal to C2 equal to C3 equal to 7. When they are connected in parallel, then what will happen? C equivalent will be equal to 3 into 7, that is equal to 21. Right? So for parallel connections, we'll directly multiply it by the number of capacitors. But remember, each capacitor must have same capacitance. Now, if they are connected in series, then C equivalent will be equal to C by N. Okay, this was about the case when they are connected in parallel. But if these three capacitors are connected in series, then C equivalent will be equal to 7 by 3. Okay, total capacitance upon 3. Clear? These will be shortcuts that we will be using in the numericals. Okay, now let's move to the next topic, that is energy stored in the capacitors. Now, energy stored in a capacitor. Now, you can see here in the figure, right? It is a capacitor, a system of two conductors with charge Q and charge minus Q. Okay, this is plus Q and that is minus Q. Now, to determine the energy stored in this configuration, first consider initially two uncharged conductors. Means I will take conductor 1, conductor 2 as uncharged conductors. Okay, now if I want this situation, then I need to transfer charge Q from conductor 2 to conductor 1, so that conductor 1 will have charge plus Q and conductor 2 will have charge minus Q. Okay, so in transferring a positive charge from conductor 2 to conductor 1, work will be done externally, because at any time the potential of conductor 1 will be higher compared to conductor 2. So work must be done externally, and that work done is stored in the form of energy. Okay, so now to calculate the work done, okay, let's calculate the work in small steps, very small steps, involving a very small amount of charge delta Q dash. So what we'll do, we'll take an intermediate step. Okay? Let's take an intermediate step. Okay. Now see, let's consider intermediate situation such that here there is a conductor 1 having charge Q dash and conductor 2 having charge minus Q dash. Okay, now let's bring a charge, a very small amount of charge delta Q from conductor 2 to conductor 1. So in doing this, the charge on conductor 1 will be Q dash plus delta Q, and in charge in conductor 2 minus Q dash minus delta Q. Right? At this stage, the potential difference V dash between conductor 1 and 2 will be equal to Q dash by C. Okay, because the charge here is Q dash, so potential difference will be Q dash by C, where C is the capacitance of the system. Now, the small amount of work done, delta W, in bringing the charge delta Q from plate 2 to plate 1 will be equal to V delta Q. Right? Work done, W equal to VQ. Here, small amount of work done, V will be equal to delta Q. Now, what is the potential? It's Q dash by C. So, it will be Q dash by C delta Q. Here, so the total amount of work done. So, the total work done in bringing the charge Q from plate 1 to plate 2, W will be equal to integration of delta W, or I can write down dW. Okay, so this I can write it down from 0 to Q, right? Because initially there was charge 0, we have taken uncharged, and now we are charging up to Q. So this will be equal to 0 to Q, Q dash upon C. Instead of delta Q, I am writing dq. So 1 by C is constant. So Q dq. Clear? Let me write down the formula for x raised to n. Integration of x raised to n dx. This is equal to x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. Here the power of q dash is 1. Okay, so it will be q dash plus into 1 plus 1. Q dash raised to 1 plus 1, that will be q dash square upon 2. Okay, so the integration of q dash dq will be equal to q dash square upon 2, 0 to q. When I put the upper and lower limit 1 by c, q dash square means q square by 2 minus 0. So the work done that is stored in the form of potential energy, that will be equal to q square by 2c. This is the formula for energy of a capacitor, that is q square by 2c. Clear? We can also use it in different form. If we put the value q equal to, or we know the value that c equal to q by v, so q equal to cv, right? So in that I can also get u equal to half cv square, right? Now if I put the value of c as q by v, right, at that time I will get the formula u equal to half vq. Okay, so these are three different formulas for the energy of a capacitor. Clear? So just go through this derivation. Now, energy density of capacitor. Okay, we had already derived that the energy stored in capacitor. Okay, that is U equal to Q square by 2C. Okay, but we know that E equal to epsilon 0 A by D. Okay, so let's put that value U equal to q square upon 2 epsilon 0 a upon d. Okay, we also know that sigma is equal to q by a. So that implies q equal to sigma a. So if I put instead of q square sigma a, right? So it will be sigma square a square. Okay, so let me change it. Okay, I will write it down here, sigma square into a square, right? Now what I will do, I will multiply by epsilon 0, divide by epsilon 0. What I get here, u equal to 1 by 2. Okay, epsilon 0 I'm taking here, then sigma square upon epsilon 0 into epsilon 0, that will be epsilon 0 square. So I write it down here, sigma square upon epsilon 0 square, right? Then a square, so one area will get cancelled, a into d. This will be equal to half epsilon 0, this sigma by epsilon 0 square. What is sigma by epsilon 0? This is electric field of capacitor, so I will write it down as e square. Okay, now what is area into, just a minute, e square, area into d, that will be equal to volume. So u by v, that will be equal to half epsilon 0 e square. Okay, this is called energy density. So I can use the symbol rho. Energy density, okay, that will be equal to half epsilon 0 E square. This is the formula for energy density of a capacitor. Okay, just go through this derivation. Okay, students, so that's it for today. Thank you.